It is now clear, and it is now the position of the 10th Rivers State House of Assembly that relying on the provisions of Section 109, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution, and of course, Section 109, subsection 1E and F, that the seats of these 4 members have been declared vacant. Members whose seats have been declared vacant are Honorable Edison Ogere Ehi. Until today, he was representing the people of Ahoda East Constituency 2. The second person is Honorable Victor Okojombo. Until this voting, he was representing Bonny Constituency. And Honorable Sukare Goodboy Sukahari. Until this moment, he was representing the people of Ahoda West. And Honorable Timothy Orubimeha Adolphus, who until this moment was representing the people of Okobo constituency. Honorable members, their seats have been declared vacant.
As regards to Victor Okojombo, the two others, the House held 3 separate votes to declare their seats vacant for absenteeism from sitting for 152 days consecutively without notification or permission, in violation of the 1999 Constitution.
And by your decision, we'll be sending a letter to the Independent National Electoral Commission urging them to quickly conduct elections to elect new representatives for these constituencies.
The Assembly further agreed to write to INEC to conduct elections to replace the now vacant seats within 90 days to provide representation for their people. Also, the House agreed to give Governor Fubara another opportunity to present the 2024 appropriations bill following the nullification by the appeal court of the 800 billion naira bill, which he had presented to the parallel House led by Edison Ehie.
Honorable members, let me also make very important remark flowing from what has transpired in the Court of Appeal. Honorable members, you are aware that the Court of Appeal has painstakingly looked at the judgment of the Federal High Court and upheld all injunctive reliefs set out in that judgment. The governor had appealed, but the Court of Appeal upheld that judgment and dismissed the appeal of the governor. I must say I was in court, I listened to the justices on that day, and the remark was made very sternly, and it was made clear that Rivers State has no budget. We have always known that for 2024, there is no appropriation law. The governor has been spending without approval. We have been getting calls from our constituents, leaders of this state, of this country. People are urging us to have a human face in all of this. But we are representatives of our people. We love our state, Rivers State. We want peace in this state. That is why we have decided to heed to the pleas that we should give the governor one more opportunity to present the 2024 appropriation bill.
Still in Rivers State, Niger Delta Development Commission has pledged a strategic partnership with the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. The NDDC executive Executive Director of Corporate Services, Ifedayo Abugunde, who disclosed this when the chairman of the NIPR Rivers State chapter, Mr. Francis Asuk, led a delegation on the courtesy visit to the NDDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, at the Commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt. A statement issued in Port Harcourt on Tuesday by the NDDC Director of Corporate Affairs, Ms. Seledi Thompson Wakana, said Obuku, who was represented by the Executive Director of Corporate Services, highlighted the importance of reputation management and the critical role the NIPR plays in maintaining a positive national image. He said a well-managed reputation would attract international investments, while a negative image could deter potential investors. While the Executive Director of Corporate Services encouraged the committee to formalize its partnership proposal with the NDDC. Speaking earlier, the chairman of the NIPR River State, Mr. Francis Asuk, said the delegation was at NDDC to discuss the upcoming NIPR 2024 week and would not be complete without the participation and sponsorship of the NDDC. In a different story, Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Egbetukun, on Tuesday declared that the Nigerian Police Force, NPF, as a responsible organization, acted professionally in the recent political crisis which rocked River State to its foundation, during which several lives were lost and properties worth billions of naira were damaged. Fielding questions from newsmen during the IGP conference with senior police officers in Abuja, the IGP pointed out that the crisis was avoidable in the first instance, but insisted that the police stood by the side of the law. According to him, on the crisis in River State, the police did not do anything wrong. They were preparing for the local government elections, and we were waiting when a federal high court barred the police from participating in the election, and a counter order came from the high court that police should participate in the election. We have to pass the two legal orders to our legal department, which advise that the police should stay off as ordered by the federal high courts, which we have to withdraw from. Analyst condemns DPO's murder. Analyst has condemned the gruesome murder of the Delta State Divisional Police Head Police Officer CSP Jega and some of his men. Speaking at Atlantic Television Network program Atlantic Blowout, a social-political analyst, Comrade Chuba Okbuzo, expressed concern over the alarming rate of insecurity in the country.
It's a pity that the brave officer who took the lead, so to speak, in an operation of this nature had to go down this way. But this is the present Nigerian state. Nobody is really safe. The entire system the place is so tense. The hunger in the land, people want to make excuses for it. But whether we like it or not, it will only increase criminal activities, only increase tension. And until something is done and done differently, these are the kind of stories we keep.
Okbuzo also stressed on the need for proactiveness among the military, the police force, and other security agencies to safeguard lives and properties of citizens.
The person that is alive in Nigeria today should be giving God thanks, because the Nigerian state is one state that has come to, I will say, every time we say it's the lowest ebb. During the previous administration, we said it was the lowest ebb. Now I think we are getting lower and still the lowest ebb, and we just hope we don't get further down the ladder. But be that as it may, it's a condemnable incident.
This is coming after the Delta State Police Command mourned the death of the newly posted divisional police officer in Agbaho Division in Delta State, CSP N.H. Jega, and some of his men by a kidnap syndicate in the state. ATN gathered that the deceased DPO, together with the DPO Orero Division, CSP Paul, had jointly led their men for a rescue operation of a kidnapped victim in the early hours of Monday, during which they were ambushed by members of the kidnap syndicate at a location close to the Agbaho rail station. We move on to Anambra State, where Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State says the new laws passed by the House of Assembly will give life to Supreme Court's verdict on local government autonomy last week. Last week, the Anambra State House of Assembly passed two progressive legislations into law. The bills are the Anambra State Local Government Administration Bill 2024 and Anambra State Economic Planning and Development Bill 2024. The legislations mandate local government areas to remit a portion of their federal allocations into the consolidated accounts controlled by the state government. In July, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government should pay allocations directly to the local government councils. The 7-member panel of justice held that state governments have continued to abuse their power by retaining and using the funds meant for local governments. The Apex Court also ordered the federal government to withhold allocations of local governments governed by unelected officials, prompting states with caretaker committees to organize local government elections recently. Soludo said the ruling on financial autonomy for local government areas will strengthen Nigeria's evolving federalism. In Enugu State, management of Urban Radio 94.5 FM Enugu has accused the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for storming its studio to arrest one of its presenters, known as Favor Echo, during a live broadcast. According to the station, the incident occurred on Monday during the station's primetime program, and the station alleged that EFCC's operatives, who were armed, barged into the studio, interrupted the ongoing broadcast, abducted their presenters, and seized communication equipment without explanation. The station assured its listeners that it would provide updates as the situation unfolds, and while responding to the developments, spokesperson for the EFCC, Dele Oyewele, denied the allegations, stating that there was no invasion or seizure of equipment. According to Oyewele, the EFCC was acting on an arrest warrant for Eko, who is suspected to be involved in a Ponzi scheme that allegedly defrauded 103 Nigerians, and clarified that the FCC only arrested Eko and did not take equipment. The further said that Eko had been previously invited multiple times for questioning, which she failed to attend, necessitating her arrest at the station. Broadcasting Association of Nigeria has strongly condemned the actions of the EFCC in storming Urban Radio 94.5 FM in Enugu and arresting one of its presenters during the live broadcast on 14th of October. IBAN said this incident, which took place around 6:45 p.m. during the station's prime time program, is not only a blatant violation of press freedom, but also an abuse of power that undermines the integrity of Nigeria's broadcasting industry. IBAN unequivocally demands the immediate return of all equipment taken from Urban Radio 94.5 Enugu and calls on the EFCC to issue a public apology for this unwarranted disruption of the station's operations. IBAN said they do not condone any unlawful activity alleged committed by the presenter, noting that it is essential that due process be followed, adding that the actions of the staff members should not be used as a pretext to penalize an entire broadcasting station. IBAN said the media plays a critical role in shaping and ensuring the citizens remain informed and engaged, noting that any attempt to intimidate or undermine broadcasters sets a dangerous tone for press freedom in Nigeria. They added that the EFCC should have handled this situation in a manner that respects the role of the media while upholding the law. In Lagos, the government is set to establish a medical university. Lagos State government has confirmed that the process to establish a medical university is already in its final stage. This implies that the existing Lagos State University College of Medicine, Ikeja, may soon assume the status of a full-fledged university to be known as Lagos State University of Medical and Health Sciences. The development will increase the tally of the state-owned university from one of four comprising the Lagos State University LASU, Lagos State University of Science and Technology LASU Tech, Lagos State University of Education, and soon to be created Medical University. The state had in the last 3 years converted its polytechnic in Ikorodu and colleges of education in Ijaniki and another one in Ebe to universities, increasing the total tally to 3. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu announced on Tuesday during his remarks at the Lagos Physical Planning Summit in response to the observations raised by his predecessor, Babatunde Fashola, about the use of veto power at cabinet meetings towards achieving the best for the state. Mr. Fashola, as the keynote speaker, had advocated continued reform in the physical planning and issuance of building permits in the state, urging his successor to avoid the bureaucratic bottlenecks by deploying his veto power as entrusted in him by the electorate. Still in Lagos, High Court sitting in Lagos has ordered Very Dark Man to take down his posts. The court ordered the controversial social media activist Martin Vincent Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, to take down what it called defamatory comments and videos on social media about renowned human rights lawyer Femi Falana and his son, Folarin Falana, popularly known as Falz. Justice Matthias Dawodu, who delivered the ruling on suit number 8584/2024, ruled that Very Dark Man's videos on his social media accounts posted on September 2024 relating to a cross-dresser, Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, to Falz and his father were defamatory and injurious to the public image of both persons. Justice Dawodu also restrained the self-acclaimed social media activist from further releasing, publishing, or circulating any defamatory videos and comments against the senior lawyer and his son on all social media pages and handles, pending the hearing of a suit filed by the duo against him. The judge also ordered that all processes in the matter be served on Very Dark Man through his lawyer, Barrister Deji Adeyanju. The applicants had dragged the defendants before the court in separate suits, claiming 500 million naira each over a video he posted on the social media platforms, alleging that they collected 10 million naira from Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, to pervert the course of justice. In their suits, the father and son averred that the defendants knew all his comments were inaccurate and not verified. Yet, he proceeded to publish the same to injure their reputation recklessly. In Jigawa State, the police command has confirmed the death of 95 persons, while 50 others were seriously injured while scooping petrol from a fallen tanker at Majia village in Tauru local government area of the state. Newsmen gathered that the incident occurred around 12:30 a.m. on Wednesday when the villagers were scooping fuel from the fallen petrol, which later suddenly exploded into flames. Police Public Relations Officer PPRO of the command, DSP Lawal Adams, confirmed the incident, saying, "Today, a petrol tanker from Port Harcourt going to Nguru in Yobe State reached Majia village of Tauru local government area at around 7:30 a.m. when the driver lost control at Majia and the tanker fell down. The contents of the tanker flooded into the gutters and drainages in the village. The villagers started fetching the fuel from the petrol going to flame. As a result, 95 persons have been confirmed dead and 50 others have been hospitalized, receiving treatment." The police image maker cautioned the villagers to distance themselves from similar situation in the future. In Jigawa, Nigerian Union of Teachers has presented an honor award to Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi for his outstanding performance in supporting the state's educational development and teacher welfare. The award was presented to the governor during the 2024 World Teachers Day celebration in Dutse. Speaking on the reasons for the award, the chairman of the Nigerian Union for Teachers, Jigawa State Chapter, Comrade Abdul Kadir Yunusa, said Governor Namadi's commitment to revitalizing and providing the state's education sector and learning outcomes was unprecedented in the state's history. He said, "I can remember when His Excellency was the Deputy Governor of the state. I presented a report to the then Governor Mohammed Badara Abubakar on the case of 30,000 teachers gap in the state, which was a big concern. Today, within a year, Governor Namadi has employed 7,000 permanent teachers, while preparation has been concluded to employ another 35,500 temporary teachers. This is a great milestone in addressing teachers' gap in the state." Do not forget that we are open for adverts, placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us and watch us on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Atlantic TV/net, on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. On more of the stories in Jigawa State, the government of Jigawa State, Governor Umar Namadi, has said that the government has approved 26 billion naira to implement the state agricultural mechanization policy, which aims to improve food production, food creation, and poverty eradication. Governor Namadi revealed this while speaking to journalists in the Auyo local government shortly after flagging off the distribution of empowerment packages, which included agricultural implements provided by members representing the Kaugoma Auyo Federal Constituency for his. The governor maintained that his administration has placed agriculture as a cornerstone for the state's growth and economic development. In Borno State, the government has taken delivery of 669,000 doses of vaccines from UNICEF and partners for the vaccination of residents against cholera in the state. While receiving the vaccines in Maiduguri, the Director, Disease Control and Immunization of Borno State Primary Healthcare Development Board, Fatih Ali, appreciated the efforts of UNICEF and partners for transporting the vaccines from Lagos to Borno State, while noting that UNICEF is one of the partners supporting the collaboration with the state 100%. Earlier, UNICEF Chief of Maiduguri Field Office, Dr. Giradi Burukila, said the second batch of the vaccine had 300 doses to arrest the spread of cholera in Borno State, especially in the IDP camps and among the vulnerable population. Burukila urged the residents to go for oral vaccines, stressing that it does not have any side effects. Don't forget that you're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network in the great city of Port Harcourt. We will be back after this short break. Stay with us.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Mr. Obi described the incident as the failure of leadership and policy implementation for the umpteenth time. The national grid has collapsed, plunging a huge part of the nation into darkness and exposing the fragility of Nigeria's power sector. This recurring disaster is a national shame and a glaring testament to the failure of leadership and policy implementation at the highest level. How long must Nigerians endure a system that fails to provide one of the critical necessities for a productive society, Mr. Obi said. He said this latest power grid collapse is emblematic of a leadership and government that have consistently failed to prioritize the welfare and economic well-being of the people. He continued saying, "We all know the immense importance of power supply to the transformation of our economy. It supports small businesses, which are the engine of job creation, and a major contributor to our GDP is immeasurable. Today, we are the 4th largest African country by economy, having fallen from the #1 position due to leadership failures over the years, including the persistent power crisis, which is critical when compared to smaller economies," he added. He explained that South Africa, which is now the largest economy in Africa, with a GDP of about $400 billion and 30% of our population, generates and distributes over 40,000 megawatts of electricity. Secondly, he said Egypt, the 2nd largest economy with a GDP of $350 billion and half of Nigeria's population, generates and distributes over 40,000 megawatts. He said this disparity in power generation is a reflection of the deep-rooted governance deficit that continues to hold back our growth and potential. It is time for urgent, comprehensive reform. Nigerians deserve a government that prioritizes measurable indices of development, he said. Senator representing Kano South, Sumaila Kawu, has advocated that elective and appointed political office holders be subjected to drug tests before assuming office. Contributing to a debate on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday in Abuja, Senator Kawu alleged that political leaders buy drugs for their supporters during elections. Before he was ruled out of order to non-alignment of his argument with the principle of the bill, the senator equally alleged that most security operatives are drug peddlers.
As I am speaking now, most of our officers in our constituencies, most of our political office in our constituencies, most of our houses, when you go there, you will find out that there is mountain of drugs, and there are drugs dealers in our offices and in our houses or in our houses. I am immune to talk. I am in the chamber of the Senate, and I can take you to some of the political leaders who are in so many ways contributing or supporting drugs abuses in Nigeria. Therefore, Mr. President, we need to be serious. If we are talking, we need to understand we are all 1-9 here. Nigerians,
thank you very much.
We will fight it between from our own side, not making law or not talking in the chamber of the Senate.
In their contributions, Senators Siriake Dixon and Adams Oshomole strongly opposed the establishment of a new agency to tackle the problem of drug abuse, especially with the existence of the NDLEA.
The subject matter we are dealing with is so important. We are losing the future of this country, losing the future of our families.
Thank you.
And it is fueling criminality. It's fueling all forms of crimes and misdemeanors in our colonies, and also carry out drug consultants and outreach programs, enlightenment programs for the young people as part of our own support.
The NDLEA is saddled with the responsibility of identifying, investigating, and prosecuting offenders of drug and drug-related offenses. What this bill is trying to establish is a response mechanism, a center that people that are bedeviled with that, a center that will help people that have drug-related issues. And I want to assure you, as a medical doctor, that we don't have those centers even in Abuja.
After a heated debate, the bill scaled second reading after a voice vote coordinated by the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibrin Barau, and referred it to the Committee on Drugs and Narcotics to report back in 4 weeks. Kudirat Kekereekun, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, says Nigerians will lose confidence in the judiciary if judges continue to delay execution of cases before them. The CJN spoke in Abuja on Tuesday at the 3rd Annual National Judicial Council Conference on Judges' Performance Evaluation. Kekereekun expressed concerns over the increase in the number of pending cases in courts and the low rate of disposition of suits among judges. She said, "We must be deeply concerned by the increase of the number of impending cases and low disposition rates," she said. As of the first quarter of 2024, we had a total of 200,000 cases pending our Superior Court's order record, exclusive in the Supreme Court. This total is comprised of 199,000 civil cases and 43,000 criminal cases. At the last meeting of the committee, there was a reduction of case disposal as some judicial officers failed to deliver a single judgment in 1 quarter. This is unacceptable. In a different story, the Confederation of African Football has taken a definite stand regarding the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier fixture between Libya and Nigeria, scheduled to occur yesterday night. However, the Continental Football Governing Body did not fix a new date for the rescheduled fixture. A statement published on its official website yesterday said, the matter would be referred to its component bodies, while many, following the situation, might find this decision reasonable. It has surprised the Libyan national team, who shared their readiness for the clash against Nigeria on social media. The Total Energies CAF African Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 qualifier fixture between Nigeria and Libya will not occur as scheduled tonight, said the statement. The matter will be referred to the component CAF bodies. The CAF short statement read, in a different story, Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, has described the electricity estimated bill as to unmetered consumers as fraudulent and opaque, saying it can never be acceptable in a sane country. This as the minister also announced that 1.3 million meters will be delivered to Nigerians between December and the second quarter of 2025. The acquisition of meters, according to the minister, was part of the federal government's initiative to address the 7 million meter deficit and promote transparency in billing. Adelabu disclosed this on Tuesday on the ongoing Nigeria Energy Summit held in Lagos, stating that the first phase of the meter will arrive in Nigeria in December, while the second phase will be received in the second quarter of next year. Quoting him, "We have over 13 million customers, but just a little over 5 million are metered. Where is it done that over 7 million customers will rely on estimated billing? It is fraudulent, it is not transparent, and it can never be acceptable in a sane country. But we cannot close this gap in 1 year. We are talking of over 7 million meters to be imported, to be produced locally. The meter gap is a big elephant we must all join hands to fight and bring down. So with the 2023 Electricity Act providing the ledger framework and regulator setting the strategic direction, Nigeria is well positioned to overcome the challenges that have historically plagued the electricity sector, the minister assured. He stated that the next steps will include ongoing investments in infrastructure upgrades and capacity building for local stakeholders, along with enhanced regulatory enforcement to ensure positive outcomes. And this is where we call it a wrap on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports. Thank you for staying with us. Stay connected with us on our socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on X, formerly known as Twitter, atlanticnet.tv on our website. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am David Obasi.
Thank you.